I don't think you can make sense of the Middle East without understanding its location, its landscape, and the people that turn it into a series of very different places. When I started working on the Middle East, it was really an attempt to understand how European and American travellers moving through Egypt in the long 19th century between 1798 and 1914 came to terms with a culture and a landscape for which they had no terms. But after 9/11 it seemed impossible to enjoy myself in the 19th century, frankly. So what I wanted to do was to understand partly the reasons for the attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, but more particularly to understand what happened afterwards. The roots of those attacks lay very much in the colonial past, and that there are reasons for the resort to political violence. That's not to say that I endorse it or accept it, but I think it's impossible to imagine any viable counter-terrorist strategy, certainly one that's compatible with democratic politics, unless you understand exactly what provokes political violence in the first place. And it's not just in people's genes, it's also in their geographies. So what the American and the British government did was to reduce the places that they were going to attack to targets, to empty spaces. You could also persuade people that insofar as those spaces were inhabited, the people that lived there were not really people like us at all. They were barbarians and savages. I didn't start out this research angry. The attacks of 9/11 left me, like I think so many other people, shaken and appalled. But as I worked on the aftermath of 9/11, I became more and more angry at what I found. More and more angry that the voices of so many millions of people all over the world counted for nothing. But most of all, I think, angry that the lives of so many people who lived in Afghanistan, in Palestine and Iraq didn't seem to count for anything.